at a time, and as you can see, don't have my normal setup this morning. Doing this from the park. We have some family activities to take care of this morning, but it is important to continue the streak of the daily financial news. So Sunday, September 4th, we're going to do it from the park. We're going to do it with earphones, and we're just going to keep moving forward. Remember, focus, daily discipline. It is what I anchor one rental at a time on. It is how you learn average. It is how you learn what a good or great deal is. Again, consistency, not perfection, right? If I was worried about perfection, I don't know what I'd be doing this morning, but we wouldn't be doing it from the outside at the park. So, yep, here we are. But we're going to keep it going. Again, Sunday, September 4th. First thing I want to let you know about is I have a treat for you. If you guys don't remember, I went to an event probably 2 weeks ago. I went for lots of reasons. The main reason being there was a headline speaker that I know, respect, and wanted to go see speak again. His name is Thach Nguyen. Thach's story in a nutshell is came to the country from Vietnam, sacrificed, and ultimately is, has a real estate portfolio and all these great things. So, long story short, we are going to take the success of the Three Amigos, where we have now done 2 live streams via Zoom and YouTube, and we're going to try it with Thach on Thursday, 10 a.m. Mark your calendar, Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific. You should get the opportunity right here on my YouTube channel to interact with Thach. We are going to do it live. We are going to do it for you. I am very excited that Thach agreed to do this. Again, I felt like if I spent thousands of dollars to go see him, that you would like to hear him and hear his story. So you are in for a treat. If you can't make it, it of course will be recorded. You can watch the replay, all of that stuff. So again, enjoy. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into the daily financial news. First, let's talk about a housing crash. As you know, I do a Saturday live stream. We talked about 2 things. First, Dion asked, hey, Michael, what do you think about Bank of America's 0 down, no credit, home buying program? And really what the key of the program is, or what key of my answer was, is it's not the first program that can create a problem, but it is the follow-on. It is a national sort of federal-backed program that really could create a problem. So what I want you to do is I want you to get in the DeLorean or the time machine with me, and I want to take you back to 2005. 2005, Olivia and I have 8 properties, 8 houses. We are trying to buy our 9th, and we can't make the numbers work. It is very much like the market we are in today. I think 2005 and 2022 are very, very similar. It was unaffordable, a la like today. What happened in 2005, if you don't know, is the government, Wall Street, got involved and really pushed housing that extra 20 or 30%. We were already unaffordable, right? Our affordability were down to where they are today. So how the heck can you get more buyers? Well, you start doing unnatural things. In 2005, the answer was, you know what? People can't afford 6.5%, 7%, 30-year mortgages. They don't get a yes answer. So the powers that be said, you know what? Let's go create an exotic mortgage where it's 1% for 2 years. Let's get them approved at 1%. And then it'll adjust 2 years later. But don't worry, prices always go up. They'll refi later, blah, 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 blah. So what happened in 2005 is we found a way to give unqualified buyers a yes answer. And again, the first few to get a yes answer weren't really hurt because they were in and out before disaster struck. But in 2005, because people started making money, as in The Big Short, they really ramped up. And we had about 18 months of exotic mortgages very poor standards. And frankly, a lot of people got yes answers that shouldn't. And guess what happens? Prices went up another 20 or 30%. All right, let's jump forward to 2022. Yesterday during our live stream, this question came up from Dion. I answered it. And in my answer, I said, you know what? We have a bunch of single family homes in Fresno. Let's call them 300 homes, or I think I said 350. And if they instantly pop to 500, I would sell. And some people are asking, well, Michael, you told me it wasn't going to crash next year, and you're talking flat, you're talking all these things. Well, let's have that discussion. Just like 05, just like 2022. If in 2022 there are outside forces that take us today from unaffordability, and we find a way to give homes, credit homes, bad loans, bad mortgages, whatever they are, and we get another year of stupid, unhealthy appreciation. If we take my 350 homes, which are probably worth like 340, and we push them to 500, I am out. Because again, we're going to repeat, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying this is how you have a housing, this is how one rental at a time will call a housing crash. If we get another unhealthy 25 or 30% appreciation on today's unaffordable market, I'll call a housing crash like Reventure, like all of these other channels, because it will be just like last time. So again, how do you set up a housing market to crash? You give homes to people who can't afford them en masse. Now let's talk about Bank of America and their program. Could Bank of America's program all by itself create a housing crash? Absolutely not. It won't be big enough. There'll be 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 homes with no down payment, bad credit. It's not enough to destroy a market. Could it hurt a city? Absolutely. If just picking cities at random now, Memphis or Huntsville or Knoxville, whatever, had a high concentration of Bank of America zero down loans, you could have a problem. But it's not going to be big enough to impact the nation. If Wells Fargo, if Fannie Freddie, if HUD, Housing and Urban Development, if piled on and they created their own version of, hey, anybody can have a home that wants a home, that will be a problem. That will run prices up for a little time, and then it will all come crashing down. So let me be clear. If Fresno, California appreciates another 30% in 12 months, I will sell all my houses. I will probably sell everything. I will sit back on a pile of money and just wait for the epic crash. You create housing crashes by giving loans, giving homes to people who can't afford them. And you do that en masse. Let's see. Bank of America, again, one program, one company, one bank, not big enough. It's when they all get together and they all have blinders on that can create a problem. So hopefully that answers the question. I thought it was a good topic. Again, let me just round this out. I do not want my homes in Fresno to go from 350 to 500. It is unhealthy. It is not good, and it will cause a lot of pain. But because I do the work, because I watch, I will gladly take advantage of it. I do not want it to happen. Hopefully that makes sense. So I've been reading a lot about rents. Rents are up. Again, rents lag prices. I think we have another 6 months or so of pretty hot rents. I actually found a list of the most expensive and least expensive rental spots. I guessed 3 out of the 4 most expensive and none of the least expensive. So let's go through them. Long Beach, California comes in at the most expensive rent, $4,664. That was pretty shocking. Carlsbad, California, $4,617. Stanford, Connecticut, I don't even know where that is, $4,352. I'm guessing it's close to New York, but I have no idea. Santa Clara, California, that is my stomping ground, $4,294. And then Ventura, California, $4,259. Now the least affordable, we're going to go backwards, 5 to number 1. Did I know any of these? I guess I would have guessed one of these. Number 5 is Rock Island, Illinois, $1,313. Flint, Michigan, I probably would have guessed that one, $1,243. Conway, Arkansas, I've actually been to Conway, $1,153. Madison, Wisconsin, $1,000 even. And finally, the cheapest place to rent a home in the United States, according to Fortune, is Warren, Ohio, $861. I don't know what a house costs in Warren, Ohio, but I'm going to guess they're cheap. No idea. We've been talking about the Chinese property market for over a year now. It is now, without question, in a deep, deep depression. Their transactions are down across the board, down more than 40% and falling. They have lost faith. They have mortgage strikes. It is not good over there. They have yet to see any real noticeable price drops, but I suspect it's because they are doing giveaways like, hey, buy a home, get a car. You know, they're kind of doctoring up the numbers. Something else we need to have an honest discussion about. Remember, we talked about the Federal Reserve kind of looking at two numbers. One was the unemployment rate, and the other is inflation. What is the cost of 2% inflation? The cost of 2% inflation is probably unemployment between 6 and 7. That's what I think. I think we're going to have millions and millions of Americans unemployed on the journey to 2% inflation. Next week is a pretty light week for economic data. The only date or only event that I think is worth mentioning here is Thursday. We have Jerome Powell speaking. To my recollection, Jerome Powell hasn't had a talk since his Friday where he kicked the Wall Street in the nuts. So Jerome Powell will be speaking on Thursday, I believe, at 9 a.m. Pacific. I don't know if you've watched the All In podcast. That is definitely a podcast I listen to. They had a deep conversation about California and the utter nonsense of our king, Mr. Newsom, really crushing the soul of the middle class. King Newsom is driving policy that is rotting out the core of California. I think it was really well done. I hope there are people listening. We have a one-party government in California, right or wrong. It's all blue all the time. And there have been a lot of choices that are that feel good in the moment that will cause epic disasters, and you're starting to see those effects. We need to talk about CPI. CPI comes out on the 13th. I think there's a couple of things that you can count on in CPI. One, headline is coming down. I believe headline inflation will come down. I believe you will hear more and more people talk about peak inflation. Let's talk about core. My hope is that core steps back. It comes, I think the last report, actually the last two reports were 6.3%. My hope is it comes in 6.1, let's say 6.1. We've got to start pulling this back. Unfortunately, there's a chance that it goes up. We have yet to see the full impact of rent, or what is called owner's equivalent rent. We just heard that in August, wage inflation was 5.2%. So there's a very good chance that core CPI stays sticky at 6.3, or could actually go up if rent starts rolling through. Last thing to talk about is SNAP. Right, we talked about SNAP a couple of times. Most recently, their announcement to lay off 20%. I've been reading articles about how shocked the employees were. If you watch my channel, you would not be shocked. I've always warned you that in these environments, you need to get close to revenue. SNAP employees have been quoted as saying, "I can't believe the company cut my project. We were the future of the company." Well, you were cash flow negative. You were an anchor on the company's cash flow. I told you this was coming. They have completely dismantled teams. Of course, this happens. Snap overhired. They may have had some people resting, investing. Of course, they are going to whack the bottom 30%. And again, more and more people said, we are the future of the company. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you can't get to the finish line because you're cash flow negative and you can't borrow money, your project is getting cut. Please, if you are in a company that is cash flow negative and you know who you are, get as close to core revenue as possible, or you could find yourself on the street even when you've done nothing wrong. Lastly, folks, let's congratulate Keto. Keto, if you don't know, was on our channel talking about going from 0 to 80 units because of one rental at a time. Well, folks, he did it again. Keto did it again, got another deal done. We're going to drop it in the mailbox right over there. Keto, congratulations. Keep it up, folks. If you want to get your card, close a deal, buy a home, whatever it is, I'm an easy grader. I want to send more and more of these out. So let me know what's going on. And again, remember, set your alarm, I would seriously, folks, no joke. I would put a meeting in my calendar for 10 a.m. Thursday. You are going to have the opportunity to talk to someone or communicate and hear from someone that I paid thousands of dollars to go see. You are going to get to do it right here for free. Put a meeting, 10 o'clock. It will be right here on YouTube. We will be hosting it via Zoom. We will take comments from subscribers. So if you want to ask a question, you must subscribe. Have a wonderful day. It is, God, I want to say it's the 4th, but I already forgot. I need to write the date down. I just need to. But again, we're doing it from the park. Remember, do the work, buy box, daily discipline. Bye.